Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Now, I'm going to play a little video here, alright, and I mightn't bring out much scriptures, but it's a video that I saw, just a landmark doing on the Elder Manakazakba video, alright. I saw this morning and say, well, you know, when I return home from work, I will do a little lesson on it, alright, but it's just a landmark on his video. Alright, so without further ado, Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying to the nation of Israel. Alright.
Thanks to the latest budget cuts, I'm down to using grade F meat.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if there was some sort of common solution to both our problems?
That would be great.
Jimbo, why don't you assist Lunch Lady Doris in the kitchen?
Bite me, Skinner.
Well, might we?
This sandwich tastes so young and impudent. Seymour, what's with the good grab?
Well, perhaps I ought to let you folks in on a secret. Do you remember me telling Jimbo Jones that I'd make something of him one day?
Are you saying you killed Jimbo, processed his carcass, and served him for lunch?
It's odd that Uter disappeared and suddenly they're serving us this mysterious food called Uterbraten?
Oh, relax, kids. I've got a gut feeling Uter's around here somewhere.
Since so many students have been put on permanent detention, we've merged everyone into a single class.
When I found out that McDonald's have a contract with over 10,000 hospitals across the world,
why not?
I'm trying to figure out, how does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
How does that make sense, bro?
When did you ever go into a hospital to recover from anything and feel like you were better in any way in this sterile environment with these laminate floors, with these walls that look like you're actually about to be processed for a custodial sentence? Where did you ever feel?
That's why I call a hospital a house of hospitality.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, the house of hospitality. I'll make you comfortable until you die. Don't worry. I'll make you comfortable. Electric this,
There's nothing
electric
to worry
that.
about when you're dying, right?
You know what I'm saying?
People who eat hot dogs eat them because they taste so good. But what's in them is not so good. You know, we've learned to accept it, but I don't know if you'll feel so accepting after this. The company Clear Foods recently analyzed 345 hot dog and sausage products from 75 brands and retailers and found, are you hot dog lovers ready for this? Human DNA in 2% of the samples and in 2/3 of the vegetarian samples.
Alright, so I just paused it here for a while. And when I was watching this video, you know, cannibalism, you know, came to mind. Alright, and apparently, you know, it's a yappa thing too, because, you know, it's just showing you that the spirit works with the men of the Lord. Alright, and the Allah went into that also, you know, with the cannibalism. Alright, and this is what Esau is doing. You know, he is basically doing what? He is showing these things, you know, he shows these things in movies and cartoons and whatnot, you know, as a mocking mechanism type of thing, that to mock the nation of Israel, to mock the people on the earth today, you know, that look, this is what we're doing, you know, but do it in a jokey way, in a sarcastic way, all right? but really and truly, this is what they actually are doing. All right. And that being said, I remember this video also that that they spoke about the hot dogs and whatnot. And it is even down to your bottled water. Even down to the bottled water, the put in human DNA in it. I think it's from there's a certain name for it. I can't remember the name offhand, but it's going into to basically unalive bodies that after the body unalive, it have a liquid that the body does let out. And that liquid, that particular liquid, I believe, is what they put in the bottled waters out there. Many of these different waters that have it. All right. And this is this devil for you. All right. He search out iniquity. He does a diligent search. All right. And this man, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the top banking families, they has a perpetual hatred against Jake, against the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right. Now that day of Jacob trouble that is coming very soon, this devil is basically doing what? Prepping people for that day. Have people being what? Cannibals at this time. And you don't even know it. Because you be eating what? You eating different food that you're thinking is actually food, but it's not food. Okay? Because this even goes into this even go into the we'll get to this guy just now. This even go to the curses. Alright? In Deuteronomy. I'll start from 49. Deuteronomy 28 and 49. It says, The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Alright, so these devils did what? They scatter us on the four corners of the earth, with the Atlantic slave trade and whatnot. A lot of you all gonna know about these things. Alright, and we are in different countries right now that is not our home. Alright, that people is be calling what? Trinidad and Tobago. That is not our home. Alright, that is where the tribe of Benjamin is. The tribe of Benjamin is where a lot of Trinidadians are. Alright, so-called Trinidadians like here. Okay, the tribe, it also have Judah in Trinidad here too. In America is where you mostly get Judah. Alright, also. And it are the Cubans, the so-called Cubans and all these, the Venezuelans and so forth, the northern kingdoms. Alright, it says here, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee neither corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kine, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. Destroy who? Thee, the Israelites. Alright, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians today. Alright, all these things took place back then, but as the scripture say, not new on the sun. So these things is coming right back. And is every generation, every time you come back, this is the curses that we under. Alright? The reincarnation, every time we come right back in our hell, in this hell hole. Alright? Which is just what? Hell is just basically a lower state, a lower state. Alright? And also the grave. That is all hell is. Hell is nothing where Esau say it is, where it's under the earth and it's only fire there and it have a devil with a fork and he's chucking you and all this foolishness. That's a bunch of bullshit this man is be telling all you. Alright? They have nothing like that. It says, and he, verse 52, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fierce walls come down wherein thou trusted throughout all the land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land, Salakia, throughout all thy land, which the Lord Yahweh thy power has given thee, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord Yahweh thy power given thee in the siege, and I Salakia, and in the straitness wherein thy enemy shall distress thee. All right. So the same way, back then, you're eating the flesh of your children and all these things, your sons, your daughters. Yeah, you're seeing it happening again today. All right. This new revised Roman Empire, which is also spiritual Egypt, also known as Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. Roman 2.0. That is what it is. All right. The same customs from back then, they bring it back right back here again. All right. They're even worse. All right. They're even worse. Because all these different kingdoms that form in the days of old that we was under captive by and whatnot, these devils today, they took every little thing that they could get from each one of them and they applied to their system. All right. So you're seeing a lot of wickedness, a lot of evil doings taking place today. All right. A lot of wickedness today. Now I don't want to make this video too long. You'll go into some more and we will get to the Rabbi Finkelstein. All right.
Of the samples, and in 2/3 of the vegetarian samples, human DNA.
Whoa, Mama, the electric chair. Smell that, Ralph? That's the smell of justice. It smells like hot dogs.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Promise, Tiger. I promise. I'll tell the exchange.
You tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them. Silent breed is people.
And that is a movie, I think, from the 60s, I believe, the 60s or 70s, Soil Green or something so like it. That's how it goes. Not sure, can't remember. All right, but that particular movie, did show you a lot of these things that actually happening today. All right, and this is what Esau does do. He's a prideful man. He's a boastful man. All right, he likes to show off. But how he shows off, he shows out in the cartoons. He shows off in his movies. This is how he shows you what he's bringing. All right. So when you watch these movies, when you watch these shows, you thinking that. All right, so lucky I was doing something there. Yeah, what I was saying, what it is do is show these things in the movies, all right, and a lot of you all will look at these movies and think, well, it's just fake stuff, it's just things that these people just came up with and it's not real. But this is all part of Esau's plan. All right, the so-called white man, this is all part of his plan. This is how he do his. This is just business and business to him. This is just the way he is. All right. As the scripture say, Job 9:24, the earth is handed over to the wicked, and these wicked is the reason why this place is like this today. This is why our people are eating these kind of meats and whatnot. All right. Now they making meats out of human DNA and whatnot, and all these things is going into what cannibalism. All right.
Relax, honey. You were just having a crazy nightmare. You're back with your family now where there's nothing to be afraid of. Except that fog that turns people inside out.
Huh?
Uh-oh, it's seeping in. Stupid cheap weather stripping.
Human meat. A new line of affordable protein is hitting our shelves. This is engineered human meat.
That's right, a protein made from human cells that promises to be cheaper and tastier than any of its competitors. I'm Greg Wallace, and I'm off to visit Good Harvest, where a whopping 6 tons of human meat is engineered every day. That is stunning. With the
Look at that, eh? Human meat. All right, and that goes into what cannibalism. All right. So back then they was doing that, you know. 'Cause when you go to the book of Second Kings, all right, Second Kings chapter 6 and 26. Here you can start from 26. It says, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall where Salakia, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord Yahweh do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out, out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, What allies thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, and we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. All right. So even back then, they was doing all these kind of things, all these wickedness. All right. Why? Because famine was on a all time high. All right. They didn't have no food, nothing like that. All right. So people was doing what? Eating different, eating people, eating their own kind. And this is what you're seeing happening today again. All right, not new under the sun, but we living in a more modern time. So Esau has technology. He have these different stuff that he using, these machines and whatnot he using, to create, to take DNA from a chicken, and create a chicken breast out of it. All right, to take a DNA out of a human person, out of a person, and make meat out of it. So what you think you're eating? And our people will go and lick their chops and go and try it, not realizing you're being a cannibal. It's cannibalism. All right, and this is how Esau is testing and bringing these things. He's using gradualism. All right, this devil is using gradualism to bring people into this. This man is a wicked man. He's an evil man. That's why they call him the devil. Verse 29, it says, So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her, On the next day, give thy son, that we may eat him. And she has hid her son. All right. So she was showing she was smarter. All right, in that time. hiding her son because she don't want to do the same thing to her son. All right. So it's going to have all kind of wickedness, all kind of people doing deceivableness against each other and whatnot. You know, all these things from back then is coming back here again today. Not new under the sun. All right. This cannibalism on an all-time high. It's going to be why? Because famine is, famine is going to come. It have a couple of years ago, I think right after the pandemic, I think 2021 somewhere there. I can't remember the country it was some country that people was selling their children. They wasn't saying what the children was going after, but they was actually selling their children for what? Food. They were selling their children food. You could go and Google it. Go and Google it and check it yourself. They were selling their children just to get something to eat. And these people had like about 9 people in their family. 9 children, 8 children, 10 children. So they just keep selling the children. No one knows where the children going, but they getting food. Right? So what is going to happen when it have no one, you can't sell your children. They can't reach to that exhaust where they selling it the kids to get something to eat, But what are you going to do when it has nothing to eat? All right? Because this devil puts in all kind of foolishness in these foods, all right, and causing people to have that urge, that urge for that type of meat, for that type of taste. All right.